Darling, you send me. I know you send me.
Hi guys, welcome to my latest oil painting time lapse and the second in an experiment I'm doing called Artist Talks, where I kind of give you guys an in or a look into the going-ons and the thought process behind my art and my journey as an artist. Today's artist talk is going to be about where I find my inspiration. Before I get into that, I'll tell you guys a little bit why I named this painting Fantasia. If you're like a 90s kid like me, like you might think about the Disney movie that came out early 90s or 2000s. I can't remember when. But I remember watching it as a kid. I vaguely remember what happened in it, but this has nothing to do with that. I think I just like looked at this lady with like this fantastical, otherworldly kind of vibe, and it just like fit. It felt natural, you know, with like her crazy abstract hair and these like butterflies are emerging from these flowers. I felt like Fantasia was a good name for her. I wanted to paint something dreamlike and kind of hyper realistic, you know, like it's she's human but not quite, you know, and I felt like Fantasia was a fantastic name for her. And yeah, so jumping into today's topic, I'm going to talk about four main places that I find inspiration. And the first of these places is in the people around me, specifically my friends and my family. I think I'm fortunate to be part of a community where we have like really deep talks, I guess is a way to call it. Like, I think my friends challenge me a lot in ways I might be reluctant to, or I don't even think to consider, you know, like they ask me things about like where I want to go in life or what dreams I have, and I'm able to ask those same questions of people. And I think as someone who paints portraits, it's important to talk to people and kind of find what makes them different from me, you know, because that's part of being human, of being unique and being different from people and having a different experience. And I think learning about these different experiences and kind of finding where they're from and like what kind of like things they've gone through to make them the person they are today. That's like amazing, you guys, is learning about different things and considering different ideas. Like some people might have like crazy out there ideas. Let's not even get into politics, but I think really sitting down with someone and trying to get to know them and get to know what makes them them and what makes them different from you. I find so much inspiration in that, you know, because if I just like drew inspiration for myself, I feel like I'd run out of ideas, you know, whereas there's a world of people out there who have so much to offer. So if you haven't really sat down and had these kind of conversations with people around you, I really encourage you to. Not only will you find inspiration, you'll actually find a deeper level of understanding or I don't know, like it'll make your friendships richer, I feel like, just by asking these questions. And I'm so fortunate to be surrounded by people that I could be inspired by. The second place I find a lot of inspiration is in film. I watch a lot of movies. I talked about how I love tacky, cheesy action movies that are really unrealistic. But I also enjoy watching dramas and the kind of movies that really challenge your ideas of things. I think we're living in a really cool and controversial point in time where like so many ideas and conceptions and levels of status quo are being challenged and I don't know, like fought. You know, like there's so many things going on in the world today and a lot of it's ugly, but it's like these conversations that really like uncover who we are as people and how we need to work on ourselves and things that we're good at and things that we're not great at, you know? Like I think it's so great having ideas challenge, you know, because like no one person is right. So listening to different opinions and listening to different ideas about things that are important to people, you know, finding out what people's values lie in and what makes people people. Like I think it's so great that we have access in this time and age to see movies like this and to see movements like this. So movies are definitely something that I love watching, you know, not just for the storytelling and for you know, the amazing plot lines they have, but just for like uncovering human, I don't know, like human flaws and different things that make us so complex, I think. The third place I find inspiration is in music. I kind of have a wide range of music that I listen to. It's not just like one genre. I really love like listening to lyrics and finding out what artists are trying to communicate with people. You know, they always say like beauty's in the eye of the beholder, or in this case, like the ear of the beholder. You know, everyone has their own taste and stuff in music. But I think like there's so much being trying to be communicated by artists, you know, even not even just like, you know, dramatic pieces of music like in the opera or like the ballet or anything like that. But even everyday music you hear in the radio, like those artists are trying to communicate something that's like part of their lives, you know, and that's amazing that we're able to like be a part of that, you know, even if it's like about love or like someone who did them dirty, you know, these are still stories that you can learn from and laugh at or identify with. And I think there's so much inspiration in like knowing how similar we are to other people and like knowing what experiences are kind of like universal. And like I think music captures that so beautifully. So yeah, that's the third place I find inspiration. The fourth place that kind of like contradicts what I've been saying is in quiet, I think, in spending time with yourself and like away from other people. I think we're so busy and like on the go all the time that like we spend so little time with ourselves and finding out what we love about ourselves or things that make us ourselves, you know? And I think like you can't really learn about that until you're on your own and somewhere quiet and kind of considering who you are and like how you want to orient yourself in this world. And I don't know, you know, like there's so much you can learn from other people, but like you should always constantly be trying to like further yourself and discover how you're changing and how your ideas are changing and how your values might be changing even, you know, because we're not static beings, you know, we're always changing, we're always moving, we're never in the same place twice, you know, like growth isn't just physical, it's emotional and psychological. And I think by spending time with yourself and like giving yourself some time to be away from other people and other people's ideas and other people's influence puts you more in touch with what's important to you and what you want to see from yourself and what you want to put out into the world, you know, the energy you want to put out there. Like if you want to be a positive force or a negative one, those are things you find out on your own, or you should find out on your own, you know? So I think spending time on my own and kind of like considering different things and looking at different things that are happening in my life and different things that are happening in the world and seeing how that affects me and how I want to relate to those things. Like there's inspiration in that, you know, like your inspiration shouldn't just be like in specific objects that are outside of you. It should be something that comes from your heart, you know? And I think artists, like an art should be like personal, you know, because if you're painting about something you have no connection to, people can tell, like people will know if you're being a fake, if you're lying about something, you know? And it's like, if you don't know what's real to you, I don't think you can create good art, you know, if you're just copying other people and kind of like mimicking different artists, it's not genuine, it's not you, and it doesn't really set you apart. So yeah, those are the places I find inspiration. I hope that helps some of you and help you kind of consider where to go if you're kind of having artist block or you're not sure what to paint next, where to consider your next piece could come from. Yeah, thank you so much for watching this video and listening to me rant about this. If you enjoyed it, please like it and subscribe to my channel just to see more of my content. Feel free to follow me on my Instagram. It's at royelle_art. I post there way more often than I do here. My poor YouTube channel that I never actually post on. So yeah, follow me on there if you want to see more of my art. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time. All right, bye. Darling,